You know, and all these interjection of all of these institutionalized kind of propaganda machines, whether it be the homosexuality agenda, whether it be, abortion on demand. These are all designed as population control. And look, we need to stop killing our children, or we won't have a country.
Okay, what are we out here for today?
Yeah, we're here to counter-protest the pro-abortion march.
We're here for the International Women's Day March.
We're here today as part of International Women's Day. So we helped plan the event. It's important to stand for the rights of women and LGBTQ folks.
This is not healthcare. This is not empowerment.
So we have 4 years to go. Has the current president's policies impacted you personally in any way?
Yeah, definitely. I know like a lot of friends that have been laid off, whether they work with they have a federal job.
Directly, yes.
Not me personally, thus far.
There's been a lot of ICE raids, specifically in Denver and Aurora.
I graduated college last year, and he recently canceled income-driven repayment plans. So now I'm paying double what they had determined was appropriate for me to pay based on my income.
And what we really need is like a real working class movement to be able to build power to actually provide solutions for people. Because what's happening right now is not working for the broad majority of the population.
Now my bill's gone up over $3,000 because I was late on one payment and they canceled all of the Biden administration college student advantageous plans. Yeah, so anything that's here at the Capitol, we would usually have a table for. Today we were the organizers for the Fort Collins International Women's Day March. But yeah, we'll be here at least networking, even if we're not the organizers and not getting the permits.
Yeah, what do you think of the turnout? What do you think of the turnout here?
I think it's pretty good. There was probably like 2,000 people that are currently on the march, and there's another, I don't know, maybe 200 people here right now.
It's okay. I mean, it's not huge numbers, but yeah.
We will be here networking on the 15th.
Do you have faith that the United States government will keep the people's best interests prioritized as much as they have in past decades?
Oh, actually more.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. We've seen that like both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are not holding the interests of the people at hand.
These people should love Donald Trump and what he's done over there. The Democratic Party's done.
You think the Democratic Party's done? Okay.
It's done.
So the second part of that question was, do you think there will be a shift in thinking in regards to the two-party system?
Yeah, I mean, there's already been a pretty big upsurge of people getting involved in like grassroots movements, right?
I don't know about that. It depends what you mean. I mean, we've had third parties in the past that have been successful, but I'm not so sure. I don't know. It's going to depend on whether the Democratic Party makes a substantial shift back to the center. Propaganda, the pushing of these extremist policies are not where the average American is, and they've overplayed their hand. I think that womanhood and women are being erased in general. So that's another issue that I have as well.
What skin do you have in the game?
What skin do I have in the game? Yeah, my child can be killed. My child can be killed, and I don't have any say in it.
Okay, so then
I mean, both that and I think conservatism has actually drifted left wing.
Sure.
The average conservative now is like a classic liberal of the '60s. So.
Do you have any particular concerns or strong opinions about the state of the economy under the current president?
I mean, I think when you make certain America First policies, initially it's going to create some problems with inflation, but we're already having horrible problems with inflation. It's like, how far are we going to do this to where if we're selling ourselves out to other countries like China to make cheap stuff at the behest of American workers and jobs here, industry here, like you have to create tariffs, and that tariffs is going to create higher prices. And so I think in the short term, that is going to affect the economy, but in the long term, I think all of the budget cuts, all of this wasted spending that's being, the billions and billions of dollars of wasted spending that's being identified will more than offset that.
Do you think that this trade war, the trade war as they call it, which will drive up prices, do you think it's going to affect the corporations like it's going to affect the people? That is to say, you know, at the end of the year, do you think that the profit margins of the companies are going to suffer?
It's going to affect them in all the right ways. Like, we right now have multinational companies like BlackRock that are buying up all of them, like literally buying out farms and communities, and the largest landowner right now is like foreign companies. And so if you're against cronyism, if you're against like all of these corporations that are getting like this, like what America, like what Donald Trump is doing is like the left would have loved.
Do you think the profit margins of the companies during this trade war are going to suffer as much as the pockets of the public?
I will respond accordingly.
Say that question one more time. Do you think the pockets of the
Do you think that the profit margins of these companies, you know, how much they make at the end of the year, is going to suffer in the same way that the pockets of the public will suffer with these trade
No,
wars?
because again, I think, you know, people care about like a few things. One is taxation. Like, how much are you taxing us? Like, for the first time ever, we've actually talked about getting rid of income tax, getting rid of property tax. I mean, like, property tax is the most evil thing in the world. Like, I can live off my land, but not if the government owns it. And if the government can just raise property taxes whenever they want, they can raise it to where they can take my land and take everything that I've worked hard for. And I don't really own anything.
Gotcha. And so, as just, I'm guessing, you know, average middle class guy, you think that Trump's policies, the current president, are going to be here to help you?
Definitely more than the previous, yes.
Okay.
I think they've already shown they have no integrity. So it's pretty concerning if you ask me.